We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
It's uncalled for.
Yeah. Well, depends on who you are.
So, well, okay. I guess anybody but you? Is that?
Kinda. Well, it depends. I mean, I guess it depends on what it is too, but yeah, you could say that.
I'll be periodically muting my microphone throughout the day to muffle my constant coughs and sniffles that I'm going through.
I'll likely be fighting off some coughs too, so that might be something
Dude, coughing's my thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Like, I claimed it, 20 seconds before you tried to come in with your coughs.
Well, I'm
the cough boy.
I
am the one who coughs.
I've always looked up to you, though. I've always aspired to be more like you.
It's because I'm slightly taller.
That, yeah, I suppose. So depending on what shoes I'm wearing that day, I might not have to look up to you. We might see eye to eye in those scenarios.
I think when you're wearing your big disco platforms.
Yep. With the goldfish in the heels or whatever. Or
those things are super dead now.
Oh my God. Were they in the heel? Were they in the heel or like the more of the ball of the foot part? Because they both had a huge sort of platform piece, right? I would think.
I mean, either way, it's cruel. It's a small little area for the fish to live.
It's awful. And any moving around, walking you do, the fish is getting knocked around against the walls.
Yeah, it's just jostled constantly.
But I would think that the ball of the foot, that area of the shoe, would be able to be bigger and have more area and allow for more volume of water to give the fish a little bit more of a chance. So, but that's just
there has to be like a way to open it up to feed it, right?
Well, you would think so, but that would compromise the water seal. Like any openings, you make it more susceptible to break the seal, where water would just leak out of it. Yeah. So I guess it depended on what the manufacturers of those shoes cared more about. People getting their feet, like people getting the floor wet, or fish being allowed to live. And I think if they're already putting fish inside of shoes, they don't care much for the well-being of fish.
Right.
Whether or not
is this ever something that's actually is there real evidence of that being a thing? Or is that
shoes that they existed for real?
Yeah.
I'm wondering,
or is it just kind of like a lore, fiction thing that's been kind of passed down?
I could see it being thrown in to a story or a movie or a show or something to be a joke, to make fun of the era.
I wonder if that's where it came from.
It probably was. What kind of person? Let's say those were invented for real, and then it was given the green light to be put into production and sold. Some company thought, yes, these will sell, and we don't care enough about fish to think this is a bad idea. And then there's the people that will go out and buy those shoes.
Right.
Like this is just a huge chain of horrible people all agreeing on one horrible idea. And not to say that that's not something that we experience in the world, but
horrible ideas.
Well, horrible ideas,
a chain of people
going along with horrible ideas and not saying, "Hey, let's not." But I think that I would want to say that I don't want it to be true, but I wouldn't put it past humanity for it to be true.
Agreed. Anywho,
anyhow. Hi.
Welcome to High School Famous, the podcast that has struggled to maintain a sense of self at times and finds its way back to the beach in California every year. I'm Matt.
I'm Sean.
What the fuck was that?
Weird.
The timing of that
was perfect. Sorry, I'm out recording on the farm. So
did you do that on purpose?
You might hear some animals in the background every now and then because I'm.
Did you do that on purpose?
Of course I did.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, the weird timing of that, for one. And two, I'm like, why? Why would there be? Did you have like a soundboard up on your phone right now or something?
No, I don't have a soundboard.
Are you trying to make this like a morning radio show?
No, but
Matt and Sean in the morning.
Oh, that's just. Oh, sorry. Just the elephants. We'll have to wait a second. The elephants are walking by
On your farm?
on my farm. Yeah. Oh, they're done now. they stopped making noise abruptly.
Did the lion scare them off?
Gosh, that's a good question. Did the lion scare off the elephants? That's a great question. I don't know if it did. I mean, the lions are usually sleeping. Oh.
Is that lion about to sneeze?
I don't know.
It sounded like it was like.
So I'm on.
Okay. Why?
Well, I didn't get the phone plug-in thing set up to work last time, so I'm like, well, now I know how it works, so let me have some fun.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just on that sound effects website that we use, and that was the first sound effect that is listed under lion, tiger, etc. So
that's awful.
I didn't have a good amount of time to pre-read that one in a sense. So that was.
Right.
I was hoping it was going to be a nice big lion roar, but it was curious grunt and pant. So. I know.
So we're going to have some random sound effects throughout this episode?
Well, they're not random. They're all animals on my farm. They're not It's not random.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's not going to be
Occasionally there might be an animal just going off for no reason.
Well, they just do what they do. They have their reasons. We just might not understand them.
Mm-hmm.
So
waiting for that dolphin noise to come through.
Oh, don't give me any ideas.
Dolphin farm.
Don't give me any ideas. That might take some searching.
Crazy menagerie of animals Sean has on his farm.
Well, that's going to take some searching because I would imagine that they are listed under fish and aquatic. So
they aren't fish though.
And aquatic, it says. So basically anything that's in the water. So I can't just, tap on donkey. Or dolphin. I'll probably have to go into fish and aquatic and then scroll through down to the DOs.
You can search.
I can, but I won't.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so before this, I decided to swing over to a little disc golf course. It's a 9-hole course. It's not very big. And I was by myself, so naturally I can blow through it pretty quickly. But I got to the second to last hole, and I caught up to this group of 4 that were ahead of me. Mm-hmm. And they seemed like they were sort of taking their time. They weren't really in a rush or in a hurry for anything. And then, so I got to the tee at the second to last hole, and they were already standing at the pin. And they were just kind of standing there. And eventually one of them threw a disc, and it was very lazily, and they missed. They were very close, but they weren't in a hurry to move along so that I could take my throw.
Right.
Then they get to the last hole, and I'm like, okay, so then I threw my hole, and then I got to the pin, and then I made my shot. And then there, of course, they haven't even thrown. No one has thrown at the next tee yet. They're all just kind of farting around. So then I just bring my discs back to where I landed on the first throw, and I just start practice putting from there. And I do about 7 or 8 putts here and there. Mm-hmm. One guy in the group decides to throw his disc and then run out to grab it and come back to the tee and throw it again. And they're all just kind of, again, messing around. Then they're finally done throwing, and so I walk to the tee of the last hole, and it's the last hole. I was hoping to blow through and play 2 rounds, because it's only a 9-hole course, and they're very short holes. So I'm like, I could probably squeeze in 2 rounds before and then get home and then get ready for this. Well, the last hole is like a putter throw. It's not a long hole. You could throw your putter to the pin. You could probably ace it if you're accurate enough, but yeah, you don't need a driver or anything, so it shouldn't take long. But again, they're just kind of taking their time. And the worst part is, I'll describe how the hole is laid out. It's like a straight shot, but if you're walking from the pin or from the tee to the pin, about a quarter of the way there, right in front of you are about 6 or 8 feet apart from each other are these 2 very large trees. Okay. And so you have to make a choice. Try to throw in between the trees, or go to the left or to the right of the trees. Naturally, since I throw right-handed, it would make sense for me to throw a really hard far right with a hard angle so that it scoops right around the trees and curves back left to land near the pin. The problem is my putter has a good tendency to just turn over really easily sometimes, and that could make it just continue going to the right in the direction I don't want it to go. Well, these group of 4 people that are now done playing decide to move about 10 or 12 feet to the right of the pin and have a conversation. And I was sitting there, and I was already kind of irritated with them because of how putzy they were being. Normally, I don't care. I'm not in any hurry. I'm just there I'm somewhere by myself, and it's natural. Some people don't have the sense to notice, oh, there's this one guy behind us. Let's let him play through.
Right.
But, usually I'm not in any hurry, so I don't even care. And I'm sitting there going, like, anywhere else. If there's anywhere else, just pick anywhere else on this course to stand and have this conversation. Anywhere else. But you stood 12 feet to the right of the pin, and I'm just waiting there and standing there. And they looked at me a few times. And you would think that if they saw me standing there just not throwing, that hey, he must be waiting for us to move because we're pretty close to the pin, and you got to throw around these trees. So it didn't click. And so I finally, after what seemed like maybe 15, I know it wasn't about 15 minutes. It was probably more like 5. But when you're frustrated and you're waiting, like time seems like it's a lot slower, or it seems like more time is passing. So I finally go, okay, I'm just going to throw. And if I have to yell 4, I have to yell 4. And hopefully they don't get pegged by my disc if it turns over. Well, of course, when I go to throw, I get timid. I don't want to hit them, so I don't throw it as hard outright as I want to. And I just dead on into the tree to the right. Right?
Of course. So
then I'm pissed, and I walk up to get my disc. And as I walk up to my disc, that's when they start to walk away.
Of course.
Right after I throw my disc, then they start to walk away. And I finish the hole. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm out of time. I got to go now. So I start walking to my car. And they're all standing in the parking lot now, still talking. It's not like they finished having their conversation in the course and decided, now we're all going to leave. They walked to the parking lot and then proceeded to stand there and have a chat. And what would have made it like the cherry on top is if they were standing like right behind my car or something, but they weren't. They weren't doing that. But I was like, and
they were just leaning against your vehicle.
Yeah. But it's like, what do you do? Do you say something, or do you just like whatever? Once they leave here, they're going to be out of my life forever. It's nothing.
I would have said something while on the tee. Yeah, I would have yelled at them to move. I was close,
but it's hard for me to not sound like a total dick if I'm doing something like that. Like I either overdo the "Hey guys, could you like? I just don't want to hit you, so could you please move?"
You like super meek and
which seems so. It seems so fake. But then the other thing, I naturally just want to go get out of the way. I'm standing here. Do you not wonder why I'm just standing here? Anywhere else?
Also, like when you were done and they were still standing at that tee, dicking around and hadn't thrown yet, and you were already done with that previous hole. At that point, I would have went up to them and said, "Hey, you guys mind if I play through?"
Well, so I would have,
but it was also the last hole. So at that point, it's like, yeah, what's the point?
That's it. I would have done that if I was
just, it was like hole 4.
Yeah. But this is hole 9 of 9. So it's like, well, why ask to play through?
Yeah, why play through now?
And it would have been fine had they not just decided to move just slightly over and then just stand there.
Yeah, I think it's that same. It's kind of that same thing that I have a problem with kind of anywhere I go, of just people having no
regard for
other people, no like spatial awareness, no like just everybody's kind of in. I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people are just in their own bubble and just kind of don't care what happens around them. It's the same of like cutting somebody off in traffic because you don't give a shit to look. And it's just like, so like,
I love the people that they realize that either they are going to miss their exit, or they realize they have to exit and they don't want to. So disregard anybody's safety around them. They are jutting over just to make sure they don't go off course. It's like, you know what? You weren't paying attention. Take the exit and then get back on. You don't endanger everyone else's lives around you because you were an idiot and weren't paying attention.
It's that Family Guy thing of like, oh, I need to change 5 lanes over. Good luck, everybody else, and just goes for it. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My biggest is like if you're like at a mall or you're just somewhere in public and people are just walking really slowly down the middle of the area and then stop for no reason to like look or talk to somebody. And it's just like, there's people behind you step to the side.
Yes.
Like, it's just this no courtesy for the fact that there's anybody else around you doing anything. Traffic is the biggest thing for me, of just like people being slow or like not using your blinker, or, you know, oh, I need to turn. Oh no, I'm not going to turn here. Like, it's just having no regard for the fact that there's anybody else around you that might need to be somewhere or has something going on. And I hate that stuff so much.
That I hate when there's lots of things with parking lots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in a car and I'm driving around through a parking lot trying to find a place to park, you'll have like a group of 4 or 5 people. They're walking 4 or 5 people wide, and they're just strolling their way through the parking lot.
Right down the middle.
Right down the middle. And the other thing is, when a parking lot is pretty full, and when there are clearly people, they see you getting into your car, there's clearly people waiting for you to move your car so they can take that spot. They decide to get in their car and then just sit there, you know, maybe texting people, maybe looking stuff up, maybe doing whatever, playing Candy Crush, whatever it is. They just decide to sit there in their car for a good 5-10 minutes before they pull out of their spot.
Right. Yep. The world is full of inconsiderate people. It's crazy too, because it's like I feel like it takes less effort to consider another human being than it does to be an asshole to them. Like, it obviously takes no effort to just not care about anything other than yourself, but I don't know. It's weird and crappy and sad to just not acknowledge the fact that you're not the only person. It's like, I don't know.
Do you get Do you get random text messages by mistake ever?
Oh yeah, that's a thing now. That's a new thing. Yep.
It's like what do you mean it's a new thing? Like, it's just people, does it happen often
It's
lately?
like, I get it a lot. Yeah, where they're just like, hey Sally, it's blah, 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 the thing or whatever. They're scams. It's a new scam thing that's going around.
It is.
But yeah, so I'll like, sorry, wrong number. Oh, well, you seem nice. What do you do? And then they try to engage you in the conversation.
I've had that happen, and I'll mess with them for a little bit. Then I'll be like, I'm not. I said I'm not. You know, Sandra, whoever you were looking. You know, I'm not that person. So hopefully you find Sandra. And then they're like, okay, thanks. I just got one just a minute ago. Eleanor,
nice.
Got home late yesterday. Thank you. So
just like, what did you respond?
Not yet. I just, as soon as I saw it, I brought it up to you. Yeah, let's say so.
Let's do this. All right, what are we going to do?
Craft a response. This is interesting.
So it was like glad to hear you got home all right?
No, they said it says Eleanor, period. Got home late yesterday, period. Thank you. So I don't, maybe they're saying I didn't respond to you because I got home late, or
say no worries. Glad you made it home.
That's your big idea.
What? Yeah, because we're gonna see what happens. They'll probably, are they gonna think you're this person, or are they gonna come by and say, "Oh, sorry, wrong number," and then you could be like, "No, it's not. It's me."
So okay, yes, no worries. Thanks for letting me know.
There you go. We'll see what happens.
Okay,
see how quickly they respond.
I thought we were gonna craft something a little more juicy, but
we got to do a slow build.
You're right. Well, hopefully we can.
So we'll see if we'll continue on with the episode and then see if we get a response, and we'll chime back into it. But we got to do the slow build instead of just like straight up saying like, I want to fuck. You know, you don't want to.
Well, I would come right into it. I'd come up with something a little more creative than that. But that's just me.
Bone?
No, not even going straight to the proposition of coitus.
I thought I muted my mic and I just took a huge sniffle. And then I realized I did not mute my mic. I must have just misclicked it. Anywho. Oh yeah, I've been getting a lot of those random text messages. I get a lot of phone calls. Anytime I get phone call that comes up saying scam likely. You close the fucking barn door. Anytime I get a scam likely phone call it's a long one.
That was a 40-second sound effect. So.
It's fine. I can talk over it.
Go on. Something about a barn door?
I always answer scam likely calls or, any of those kind of calls. I always answer them because I'm always just really curious as to what the pitch is going to be.
I get so many calls that I answer where I go, hello. I know it's going to be silence. And I go, hello, hello, goodbye. And I hang up. That's like almost, I'd say 85 to 90% of the time, there's nobody there or it doesn't even have, it's not like an automated thing even kicks in. There's silence and I'm like, bye. And then I hang up.
I got 2 yesterday that I answered and I say hello. And it was just white staticky noise and then eventually hung up. I'm like, okay.
I'm going to see if I can
I've been getting, I used to get them like weekly. Now I get them every few weeks, maybe once a month of some guy saying, is Sabrina there?
Yeah. I got I think it was last night or the night before, I got a random phone call and it was like, oh, hey. And then they said a name and I'm like, oh, that's not, wrong person. And then like, oh, I think I've got the wrong, they said, I think I've got the wrong number. And then so that seemed like it was real. That
was probably legit. I get the one where it's like, hey, is Sabrina there? And I'm like, no, there's no Sabrina attached to this number. And it's always Sabrina. And I've gotten this call. Yes, it's Sabrina every time. And I've gotten this call at least a couple dozen times. And they, so they're always, Sabrina there? I'm like, no, there's no Sabrina attached to this phone number. Oh, well, maybe you can help me out then. Every time. And they're like, oh, we're collecting money for blah, 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 blah.
What rational...
And literally the last time it happened this week and last time it happened, or it was either this week or just last week. And I'm just like, oh, maybe you can help me out then. I'm like, no, I literally can't help you out. And I'm going to hang up now. Goodbye. Just didn't even let him finish. I'm just like, I'm so tired of that. I used to get a Michael all the time.
Well, it's like what rational person, like let's say this was an actual legitimate wrong number dial.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't get the person you were trying to reach. You would then, any normal rational person would then hang up and call the make sure, double check the number, call again, and hopefully reach the person they're trying to reach.
Right.
So,
but how is somebody trying to get money, so they don't care who they actually called.
But how does someone? I mean, there are definitely a bunch of people that are just naive to a lot of things. But how do you get fooled by that notion? Like, how do you listen to someone say that? Oh, well, maybe you can help me now that I've reached you, random stranger.
Right.
Maybe you can help me out with my life somehow, even though you know nothing about me. You don't know where I live. We have no history together. Why should you be willing? But who hears that and goes, oh, okay, well, yeah, sure. What's the problem? Like, what?
Right.
Who thinks that way?
Yeah, a lot of it's always like, oh, we're trying to some fundraiser for the police or some election or blah blah blah. Well, maybe we really appreciate your donation. It's like, no,
yeah,
like that's not how you get donations.
I was trying to
call randomly and try to fucking.
Well, I mean, that there is this old door-to-door sort of method that used to be in practice, and maybe
and that's fine. You come to my door, sure, come to my door. That's fine. I'll accept that. Do not bother me on my phone.
Right.
Don't call me, because now you're actually invading my home. If you come to my door, I can ask you to leave. If you call me, you're in my space now.
Get a no soliciting sign on your door so that even if they come to your door, they hopefully see that and just
what sucks
move along. What
is my phone? My phone is actually, I registered my phone onto the no call list. Yeah. It's on the no call list, and since then, I feel like I've gotten more calls.
Oh, so you think that maybe
because they're all because they're robocalls. And those ones they can't block those. But legit solicitors, those ones get blocked.
Oh, I see. So I wonder how that maybe a company that does this type of thing will, if your number is not on the no call list, they go with humans calling you. But once that number gets registered on no call, they switch you over to robocall. I bet you that's something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. And it sucks too, because the phone numbers that call you, that come up, if you call them back, it's not, that number just goes to like an actual person, because it's just a number that cycles through or whatever.
Yeah. And we're still not to the point where technology has advanced enough. Robocalls are still just impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be fine with a robocall if it was someone I could have a chat with and,
Yeah.
maybe make plans with later.
Well, there's an app for that, Sean.
An app for robocalls?
There's an app to basically have a conversation with a robot or have like a robot friend.
There is?
Yeah, it's like,
And I have not called this yet?
It's an app called like Replica or some shit. It starts with an R. I can't remember what it's called, but you basically make an AI friend that you can talk to.
Tell me this is free.
It's probably free to a point.
Sure. I think we need to both befriend a robot and see if we can get a
And then try to make our
transcript.
robots become friends.
Well, no. Oh, yes, that
Constantly
too.
talk to each other.
Well, yeah. Like, I don't know how this system works. I'm clearly just finding out about it. You seem to know about it for some reason that we
The
maybe
ads
won't
have
get
popped
into.
up on like games and stuff I play and shit.
So if it's set up so that you can have a scheduled call where your robot calls you, your robot friend calls you, and you have a chat with your robot friend, we could somehow figure out so that both of our robots call us at the same time, and then we put them on with each other and see what kind of conversation could generate from the two robots talking to each other. But if we can't figure that out, we could at least get our own conversations going and see where it goes, see how crazy it turns, and maybe get a transcript of the conversation or type it as we're, some way to get it on record that we could recall it back here.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool. This is like the next step beyond just doing like the AI intro for the show.
Yeah.
This is like the next step beyond that.
An AI conversation.
Yeah. It's like the movie Her, I think. I've never seen it.
Yeah, nor have I.
Oh, crap. We can't comment on it to see if it's anything like what we're proposing.
I believe it's, he falls in love with he falls in love with like a Siri type character or whatever, or system or something, as far as I know.
I think what would be a good invention and a lot of people would enjoy, especially even if it was a paid option. All phones have their assistants now, right? You've got Siri, you've got, what is it, like Bixby, and you have
Bixby,
Cortana, and all these other virtual assistants. Get yourself a subscription plan where you can sign up for an X-rated version of that virtual assistant.
Right.
There are people out there that will use it. They want to say their dirty things and get dirty responses back from the virtual assistant. I'm surprised we're not there already.
I'm sure something like that exists.
It probably does, but I'm talking built into the OS of these phones or computers, whatever use these virtual assistants, backed by the company, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, everyone. They built them in because it'd be a way to get more revenue from the customer who was already using the product anyway. You've got your regular virtual assistant. Hey, you want to pay $4 a month for an X-rated version of the virtual assistant, where if you say something nasty to it, it won't be like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you with that. It will be like, they'll get into it. And then, so-and-so will get their rocks off. And then a couple, maybe an hour later, they're back at it again. But yeah, that would just be like a relatively inexpensive subscription setup. The company gets just that reoccurring revenue. And it's not expensive enough where someone's like, you know what, I really need to cancel this if they're going through their budget.
Right.
Because there are way more expensive subscription services like Netflix and crap like that, where you could be like, I really got to knock this out to save some money. $4 a month?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's not too
And
bad.
it'd be anonymous, right? Like, it's not like, now you could have a moment where you say something to your phone and you're around other people, but it's not that you say something dirty, but maybe the phone mistakes it and triggers some dirty response back and other people hear it. I guess that could be
your phone calls
scenario.
you like Big Daddy or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I always forget that you can tell your phone what to call you.
Yeah.
I always forget that. I never think to think of some weird thing to put in there, like, some goofy nickname for it to call me.
Yeah.
Do you?
I very rarely use anything like that. The most I ever use, because I think my phone's got Bixby or whatever, but the most I use it for is like tell me what song this is and have it listen to a song. That's pretty much all I've really used it for anytime recently. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to not have to download fucking Shazam.
Yeah, no, it is. I like to just every once in a while, this is again, maybe once every 2 months or something, I'll be like, hey, what's the weather like today? That's
Right.
just about the extent of it. Well, I have some smart home things, so I'll be like, hey, turn on the floor lamp, or hey, turn off this. So I do use it for that.
Wasn't it when you were here last September that I had my phone tell me a joke and it was just really stupid?
Yes, I think so. And we might have gone with, like, we might have each started doing that to see what our phones would come up with for jokes.
Maybe.
The jokes that a phone will...
They're never good.
No, they're never good. They are like beyond dad humor. It's more like grandpa humor.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, I had an idea for an episode of, I want to look up like a 1940s joke book or something. I want to look up like really old jokes. And then, we can go through some of them on the show.
That's good.
Yeah, because they'll just be, I don't know, they'll be weird. And I'll feel like I'm going to go into this, I'll immediately go into that old-timey, like, 30s radio voice.
Hello there.
As soon as I'm, yeah.
What did the cow say to the moose? Well, I don't know. What do you think? Should we do Should we do holidays?
I mean, it is the holiday episode. Yeah, it's the holiday episode. We might have to try to just burn through it real quick. Just hit up the top tier.
Well, let's hope that September is a dry, sad month, and we don't get many holidays.
I mean, that's usually November, isn't it? It's a dry, sad month for no, not November.
Oh, I guess I've never. Well, there's also the what is it called?
You've never participated?
No, not in that.
And not intentionally anyway.
Right. Yes. No, but there's also, what is it? Isn't that like the Movember or No Shave November as well?
Yeah.
Why November? Like, why is it like, hey, don't shave and don't enjoy yourself?
I think it's just like summer's over, so you don't have to worry about beach season anymore. So go ahead and let that hair grow.
I guess
everywhere.
But as far as actual holidays, November, it's got Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. It's your guaranteed 4-day weekend. Like, how is that dry and sad?
I'd say depends on if you overcook the turkey.
I gotcha. So far, just without digging into September, November has a leg up on September already. We already have that guaranteed 4-day weekend, which September has a 3-day weekend with Labor Day, but that's a
2 legs up. That's 2 legs up with that turkey.
I gotcha. All right. Did your phone come up with that joke, or is that a Matt original?
Let me look.
Let me see if I can get my phone to recreate that joke. All right. Let's do it. September is on. I'm not sure what this means. Bison 10 Yell Day. Unofficial,
like
weird and obscure.
Y-E-L-L, yell?
Y-E-L-L, yeah. The number 10, the word 10, Yell Day. Bison 10 Yell Day. Under weird...
It's for bisons?
Yeah,
and they yell when bisons yell.
In groups of 10? Or they yell...
In groups of 10.
Or they yell in 10 times in a row? Or they yell in 10-minute increments? I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Bison 10 Yell Day.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. We've also got National Lazy Moms Day. I didn't say what date that was. So these are both on Friday, September 2nd this year. Bison 10 Yell Day and National Lazy Moms Day.
Yeah, those moms, they've had it too hard for too long.
I know. It's time to get lazy. I did skim past a somewhat enticing September 1st holiday. It's National Chicken Boys Day.
Chicken Boys?
Chicken Boys Day. Yeah. Boy is with apostrophe S. So
I was hoping with a Z.
That would be,
Boys.
if it came out in the early 90s, it probably would have had that.
Because then I would think it was like a gang, like some sort of
like
gang that has a holiday. Yeah, we're the Chicken Boys.
We're the Chicken Boys in the hood.
Be like, let's fight Chicken Boys. They're like, they all ran out.
Yeah. Not like they're not portraying or impersonating chickens. They are.
Yeah.
They're just scared. They're wimps.
Scared of everything.
Yeah. Why would I understand like the forming of a group of that type of person for the purpose of just being around people you can relate to, but not to be a gang, which is supposed to be like a formidable. I added a lot of unnecessary syllables to that. Formidable force against other gangs or street toughs, but
Yeah.
chicken boys. And they clearly don't allow females in their gang either.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go into
They're the Nancy gals.
the Nancy. Could they be chicken? Could there be a gang called the Chicken Girls?
No.
Oh, just Nancy gals.
The Nancy gals.
The Nancy gals. Let's go on to September 3rd. It is World Beard Day. World Beard Day.
Where you put a beard on the world.
Beard the world, make it a better place.
Copyright infringement if we sing
Too
anymore.
much. Well, we did modify the lyrics, I guess. Does that count?
Yeah, it falls under parody. It's fine.
Yeah. Weird Al, he taught us a lot. If he taught us anything, it's that you can do that and get away with it. But
He made parody law.
yeah, he paved the way for all of us following in his footsteps. Sunday, September 4th, eat an extra dessert day.
Okay.
So if your normal amount of dessert is 0, you better
Yeah.
sure to eat one at least.
Mhm.
If your default is 1 or more, add on to that.
That's what extra means.
That's
yeah.
what extra means. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or it could be called, to fall
Additional
yes, to go along with our branding. We're trying to get going with our gum line.
additional gum.
Imagine if we start getting gum produced, and that's what we sell. And,
Dude, that'd be awesome.
of
I'd
selling-
be super for it.
instead of selling mugs or T-shirts, we sell chewing gum or bubble gum. That's called additional
Yeah.
gum.
I'm going to get in contact with Fruit Stripes.
Let's do it. Yeah, I don't think they're doing too well. They might be thirsty
Yeah,
for a good idea like this.
yeah.
Something to put them back on the map.
High school famous extra additional gum.
Because Fruit Stripe gum, I know a few years ago, I did see it.
It came back for
right?
a
But-
short period. Yeah.
But I think it's gone again. I don't think it's around anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of like Surge.
The
Surge.
tastiest gum for those first 4 seconds.
Well, that's a lot of gum though. Like Juicy Fruit was the same way, and I think that's still sold. But yeah, you throw in a stick of Juicy Fruit, it tastes great.
And it moves you.
Was that one of their taglines?
Yeah,
or
the
slogans?
taste is going to move you.
I don't remember that one. The only one I think I really remember is Double Mint. The double your
the
pleasure,
fun?
double your fun, double
Yeah.
something else, Double Mint gum. I think it was.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Can you let's see? Can you remember any other chewing gum or bubble gum slogans while we're here?
So what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
Sure, that counts. That counts technically.
What was the big red?
It's something about go tight.
It's
Go tight
a
little
whole
longer,
little song.
longer with Big Red.
Yeah.
It's go things a little longer. They
Yeah.
list off different ones. That was a catchy tune.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what.
So catchy that we forgot it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was catchy at the time, but I think
Yeah.
that maybe would have gotten me to try Big Red gum.
It was just cinnamon gum.
Well,
It
are you a
was
fan
just-
of that? That
yeah.
sort of spicy esque
No.
gum. I like it.
I don't know. I like fruitier, tastier gums.
Tastier. Yes. I mean, I like that too, but I'll get down with some Big Red every now and then. All right, this one's weird. National Another Look Unlimited Day.
Okay.
The unlimited part is what I don't get. Like National Another Look Day, it's like, yeah, give it another look. Maybe there's something you missed.
Give it unlimited additional looks.
Yeah, keep staring.
Yeah. Keep looking.
Keep
You don't like it now?
Keep staring.
Try again.
Keep staring from
Try
across
it.
the room.
Yeah. Ladies like it.
Yeah. So I've not been told. That one, I'm doing a bad job this episode. That one is on Tuesday, September 6th.
All right.
Also on Tuesday, September 6th, Fight Procrastination Day. And I was really hoping that on September 7th, there was also a Fight Procrastination Day, as in to suggest that they didn't do it on Friday, the
Right.
6th. But my wish was not fulfilled. This is not within our control. The 7th of September is also National Neither Snow Nor Rain Day. Unless it's...
So what happens if it does?
I don't know. I mean, unless this is to go along with the United States Postal Service, neither rain nor shine, whatever it is, where basically nothing will stop us from delivering your mail.
I just thought of what would have been better than fight
Procrastination.
Day if it was like fight for shit.
Gross.
No. I had it and then I lost the word I was looking for. Oh, like fight for pacifism day would have been.
Oh,
great.
that's good.
Yeah.
Fight for peaceful resistance or
Yeah.
nonviolent resistance.
Be great.
Let's keep going. Let's progress forward through the month of September and not backwards. Friday, September 9th, Care Bears Share Your Care Day.
Okay, so that's a holiday specifically for Care Bears to celebrate.
Well, what it says to me, Care Bears Share Your Care Day. So they share what you care about with other people?
Something like that.
That's what I get out of it. This is something that's not meant to be taken literally, but it's National Stand Up to Cancer Day, also on Friday, September 9th. But I don't know how well that would work if you just like approached a tumor and just
You're like, no,
said, I'm not going to allow this anymore.
Yeah, and they back down.
I'm establishing my boundaries. Cancer.
What a bully.
Yeah, then it just shrivels up.
Yeah, I'm gonna sick the chicken boys on you.
I was going to say, now it's going to go rejoin the chicken boys.
Yeah.
All the chicken boys came down with cancer today. Yeah, end of joke. Okay, let's see. National, that's stupid. Matt, do you have a hound? Not a dog. You have a hound?
I'm reluctant to say.
Well, on Sunday, September 11th, if there's anything that should be remembered on that day, it's National Hug Your Hound Day. So if you
I wonder what came first.
If you have a hound,
that holiday or
give it a big old squeeze. Now,
when was that holiday established?
This is I don't want to look into it. This is interesting if you combine these two because they're both on the same day. National Pet Memorial Day. So I want someone to go hug their dead dog.
Or is it to go pet a memorial?
Oh, like you visit the Washington Memorial or you visit.
Yeah,
and give it a good old heavy petting.
Or the 9/11 Memorial.
Oh, that's. You know what?
Yep.
Some crud fell down
It's
from
like
that.
you quit for a second there.
Well, it was, yeah. People can't see it, but I raised my microphone up in the
I'm
air
sure they
above
can
my
hear
head.
it.
It was to suggest that you can't top that, and I give up, and show's over.
Oh. What's next?
I'm finding out.
Okay.
There's a lot of rough. I'm searching for the diamonds, but there's plenty of rough here. Oh, gosh, the 13th National Ants on a Log Day, I guess, is worth verbalizing.
Do you enjoy a good ants on a log?
No.
You're not a raisin guy? Or you're not a celery?
I'm not a raisin guy or a celery guy. So if ants on a log was strictly a glob of peanut butter, I'm all there. But I'm all in.
It's not even a log then. It's just
it's just I know. Yeah, it's not a log anymore at that point.
Yeah. I don't hate celery, honestly. Like if there's like a veggie tray out or whatever, I typically go for like the carrots and the celery.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a little dip and a little dill dip.
Carrots I'll do.
I mean, celery is basically just grainy water.
Yeah, but I don't. It definitely has a strong.
It's a
taste
texture
to
thing.
It. Well, it's a texture thing, but it also has a strong taste to it to me, and I don't care for it. Oh, give me like celery that's cooked in a soup. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't care about that. But just that raw celery. Same thing with like raw broccoli or something like that. Like I can eat it. I will eat it, but I definitely prefer cooked broccoli over raw broccoli.
Yeah, I don't like a raw broccoli. I just had some roasted broccoli the other day, and it was fine. Yeah.
Oh, roasted.
Broccoli is kind of a textural thing for me too. Like
It
most foods
weird.
that I don't like, it's a texture thing more than it's an actual taste thing.
So what's funny is I grew up being such a picky eater. So
Same.
I wouldn't touch broccoli or cauliflower. But I would eat a can of peas and carrots. I would eat canned green beans, canned corn, which isn't even really a vegetable. So that's the vegetables I would have as a kid.
Corn is not technically a vegetable?
I don't think it's not really a vegetable.
Is it a starch? What is it?
I don't know if it's a grain. No, it's not a grain.
Maybe it falls kind of in that family though.
But I think it's
sort of on the pyramid.
It's not something we can really digest properly, right? Because that's why a lot of times
you can't.
Right. That's why a lot of times.
Yeah, I had corn not too long ago, and it was still corn at the end of the day.
I've recovered my corn. Time to wash and recycle.
Oh yeah, I could have literally reused it. Like it was straight up still corn. Like it didn't like corn's the kind of thing that like you can chew mess out of it
It
and
somehow
break it down, and it comes back out full
it
again.
reforms.
It does. Like, your body's just like, this ain't right, and puts it back together, and it comes back out like your turd comes out looking like a full-on corn on the cob.
I would love to have a politician campaigning, and one of their topics is corn reform. They're fighting for corn reform.
That's awesome. Oh.
Okay.
No.
Make a Hat Day. Thursday, September 15th is Make a Hat Day. So, I guess if you really love making hats, or if you're someone who doesn't have a hat and really want one,
yeah,
and you can't afford one, you could maybe somehow afford the materials with which to construct a hat of your own.
I'm sure you could make a hat out of things you just have around the house now.
Sure. Elbow macaroni, reformed corn.
I was thinking more of like non-food materials.
Oh, I see. And I specifically make things out of prepared foods. So I boil the elbow
used
macaroni.
Foods.
I boil the elbow macaroni before I use it for arts and crafts.
Mm-hmm.
And I let the corn get through
because the hat needs to be flexible.
Totally. What if you're you could fluctuate here and there. Your head could shrink or expand depending on the heat.
Yeah.
What if you
or how much hair you have on your head at the time?
Yeah, you grow your hair out. All of a sudden, your head feels a little more snug. It's got to be adjustable.
Like this hat is incredibly loose on my head compared to what it was this morning.
Oh, you stretched it out.
No, I shaved my head today.
Oh.
And all of a sudden I put my hat on. I'm like, oh, it's nice and loose.
Yeah, that's always a weird feeling. Like, I like
it was giving me a headache wearing it the other day because it was just a little too tight.
That's
and
rough.
Then, yeah.
Is it from, do you wash it?
Not recently.
When you wash a hat, then you put it on, you're like, oh man, this feels real snug now.
This feels real.
It's a real hat now.
That's why I typically don't, if I wash my hats in the washing machine, then I typically hang dry them so that they don't shrink. And plus I think the heat and everything kind of damages them a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good sign of someone that has nothing else that they really have to take care of or support.
I worry about
that you're able to. You're like,
hats.
I got to hang dry my hats so they don't shrink.
Yeah, I consider it a delicate in that sense. You want your hats to last, and they're not meant to be like washed in that sense, anyway. So if you throw them in the dryer, you're just going to damage them.
Well, I've washed, like, I have a few hats like yours. I've washed them several times, and they're fine.
Yeah, I've washed and dried this hat a few times, but typically I try to not dry it. If I have time to let it hang dry, I'll let it hang dry. But if I need it quick, then I'll throw it in the dryer and then deal with it. But
gotcha. Yeah, I've had worse experience with like an actual sort of baseball style hat.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, those ones you can't.
But they make those.
Like I used to have those like plastic things that you could wash your hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to wear baseball caps all the time when I was a kid.
So we got the 19th of September. We got two interesting ones. One could be fun to partake in, but it could also annoy a lot of other people. It's National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yar.
Which for some reason I feel like why. You don't know why you just said yar?
No, I don't know why people immediately assume that's how pirates talked.
It's just what's been taught through cartoons and movies and whatnot. But I wonder where my train of thought went.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to interrupt because you clearly lost where you were going. I lost it. Have you ever gotten like a text message or like an email or something where somebody accidentally kind of screws up what they were trying to say so it sounds like somebody speaking in a like pirate talk?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay. No. I have one that I remember, and this is from years ago. So this is when I was still working at that warehouse out in Eden Prairie.
Okay.
So we're talking, at least 10 to 15 years ago, somewhere in that realm. And one of the guys had emailed a bunch of people like, oh, I'm going to be like out of the office for whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then ended it with, if you need me, call me cell phone. And I've always remembered that. And it's just like, oh, that's the funniest damn thing.
Yar, call me cell phone.
Because you read it like that. You immediately just call me cell phone. And you're just like, oh, that's so good.
Honestly,
I love those mistakes. Anytime you put me instead of my, every time it's immediate pirate.
To be honest, I think my mind would probably go for like Irish, like sort of leprechaun first.
Call me
cell phone.
Okay.
For some reason, when I thought of it for myself, I bet you my brain would go toward sort of leprechaun versus pirate.
Oh, I immediately go pirate every time.
Now,
Makes me laugh.
guaranteed, you throw a yar in front of that, like yar calling your cell phone, it's pirate all the way.
Yeah,
But-
Yar is immediately. It's like in the movie Dodgeball when
I don't remember that part.
No, the one character in the movie that's just like the pirate. He's a pirate the entire movie. Oh,
Nope.
and he's always just Yar.
Oh.
All the time. Like anything bad happens, just Yar. It's all sad.
Okay, I mean that's funny.
It's been forever.
Yeah, I mean
I'm
I've
sure
seen
for
it.
you too.
I've seen the movie, but yeah, it's been I've seen
You
it.
clearly don't even remember that there's a pirate character
No.
in the entire movie.
It's sort of coming back to me now that you mention it, but
yeah.
I know I've seen it one time, and who knows how long ago it was. I'll have to check my diary. So we've got again International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So we want to go
Yeah.
across the borders with this one.
Well, yeah, because you have to go into, you have to get off the
Maritime law, like you have to.
Yeah,
get
you got to
into
get out
Mhm.
into
open water.
open water where you're in.
You're passing another
whatever.
ship, and that's when you'll converse with someone else.
What do they call that? I don't know.
Pirate
International
thing?
waters. So you
Yeah.
have to be in international waters so that you're off the land, and so it makes sense. It has to be international
To be off land, you have to be in the water. That's what you can take
Yeah.
away from this episode.
or in the
everyone.
air.
Oh my gosh, you're right. You've added a whole other element that the pirates did not get to experience.
Yeah, literally another element. How did pirates not get to experience air?
Flying in the air.
If a cannonball hits their ship and launches them through the air, they can
Yeah, but
experience it for a short period before death.
so when you said "or in the air," I was referring to a mode of transportation in the water, as in being on a ship. So when you said "or the air," that to me said like flying in a plane, and that's why I said
you
pirates.
said you said to be off land, you have to be in the water.
I suppose
said
that's
or in the air.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is what I said.
It wasn't necessarily pertaining specifically to pirates at that point.
This
Are you
one,
still on ground if you're underground?
yes, because
Yeah.
what is beneath you is more ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's additional ground. All right. So we've also got on the 19th National Woman Road Warrior Day.
Okay.
What is a road warrior? Is it someone that does like demolition derbies and stuff?
Outside of
The Mad
like
Max
outside
franchise?
of the movie, yeah.
Don't look things up.
we haven't done it in a while.
I just wanted to see if it was something you already knew.
No, if I just, and honestly, if I just type in Road Warrior, the first thing that comes up is Mad
movie.
Max anyways, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
It really popularized the Road Warrior.
Yeah, it did.
That movie did big things for the Road Warriors around the world.
Yeah, it did a big thing of how, in the future, gas is going to be really hard to come by, so everybody's going to drive around to find it.
Yeah, that's all they're doing is driving around using up gas.
Yep, pretty much.
Let's none of us go
Well,
for
'cause
a
if you
walk.
think about it,
Well,
like, in the future, electric cars, if in a dystopian future, electric cars will be basically worthless because you're not going to have electricity to charge them. So you're going to have to go with fuel.
Unless you go a dangerous sort of Benjamin Franklin type of a method of harnessing said energy.
Just drive around with a kite with a key attached to it.
Yeah, and have the
hooked to your car.
Have the string of the kite tied to your car battery.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
You can only drive if there's going to be some sort of electrical storm.
Yeah. Well, that's the only time you can hope to obtain a charge. You can drive around when it's not storming, but you're wasting. But yes, in order to better your odds of being able to charge up your car, that's when you would have to drive.
Right. What farm animal was that?
The bollocks.
Mm.
Oh man, I wish my thing had not crashed, but it's on the where'd it go? September 22nd, Elephant Appreciation Day. That would have been perfect for me to cue up an elephant sound.
It crashed?
Well, my phone went, it went to sleep, and then I opened it, and then all of a sudden it had tried to reload the page's website, and I think I was logged out. It was just like, I give up. This joke ran its course.
Gotcha.
Maybe I can sort of conjure something up for us to go out on, but we'll see. Blah, blah, blah. Thingy, blah. Checkers Day. September 23rd, Checkers Day.
Any specific type of checkers?
I think it's referring to...
generic?
I think it's referring to whichever president that was, where their dog's name was Checkers. Was that Nixon?
Don't know.
Was Nixon's dog?
No, that was a thing.
I think Nixon's dog's name was Checkers.
Like Roosevelt's was named Connect 4.
Yeah. Trump's dog
Taft.
will never be named Sorry.
I was going for Sorry.
Well, I took it.
Yeah, damn it. I was gonna say Taft's was called Sorry.
I guess the September equinox is in September. God, September sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, National Cherries Jubilee Day. I don't even know what that is. Is it just a type of cherry, or
I
is
believe
it
it's a dessert? I think it's a dessert. I don't like cherries really.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I like cherry flavoring, which is it's one of those things of like
Banana.
I like cherry flavoring, but I don't like cherries. Like
Right.
I like ketchup, but I don't really care for tomatoes.
Yeah, so
I tolerate tomatoes.
I'm on par with you there. I'm the opposite with banana. Don't like banana flavored things, but I like bananas.
Right.
I think
Well,
that's
it's because banana flavored things are based off of a
something else, right?
extinct banana.
Yeah, which is weird. Revise. Hey, everyone, revise the banana flavor formula. Get it with modern day
banana
bananas.
reform.
Banana reform. Not as good, but I'll take it. We already know this one. It's the 25th. It's Math Storytelling Day. I don't even know why I mentioned it. We already knew about
storytelling.
it. Math Storytelling Day, yeah.
Stories about math.
That, or you have to incorporate it a lot. Like, that's why Lincoln on the 25th of September delivered the Gettysburg Address, 7 years ago.
Famously.
Famous September 25th speech.
Yeah.
1902.
I don't know why he had to say it like that. I mean, obviously it was just, you said things a little differently back in the day, but it's like, is it easier to say 7 years ago than it is to say 47 years ago?
Dude, have you heard that whole speech?
Or is it 47 or is it, what's a score? Is a score 10 years or is a score 100 years?
A score is
20 years.
20 years. So we're looking at 87 years.
Okay, so it might be easier to say 87 years.
It is, but he had to stretch. He had to there's lots of filler in that speech if you listen to it. He needed to fill time.
I mean,
he almost the
if you
first
listen
draft
to it.
The first draft was 4 and half of 14 years ago. But he thought that's a little bit too much. So he figured out some other things to kind of fill in there so he could cut that down to just saying 7. He didn't want people to be on to him after the opening line.
Right.
This is his first speech given as president. So he had to make a good impression.
Yeah, totally was.
First speech ever.
He's like, if I screw this up, somebody's going to shoot me in the head. I swear to God.
Too soon.
Oh, really? We're talking about petting the 9/11 memorial a little bit ago.
That's right.
But Lincoln.
Well, I mean, compare the two. Which is a more sensitive topic? Come on.
I would say 9/11.
I mean,
I'd say thousands of people dying versus one guy dying. A little different.
That's part of the untold history of the whole thing.
It's also kind of the thing about
his bullet
Lincoln.
went through 7,000 people.
Oh, really?
The whole audience of that play dead.
Curved bullet.
Dead.
Huge. That was a giant theater. 7,000 people.
Well, they were all getting in line to shake hands with the cast once the play was over. So it was easy. Everybody was standing single file down the center aisle of the stands, of the seats.
Wow.
Boom.
It's a very advanced bullet. I'm pretty sure even a bullet nowadays wouldn't be able to do that.
Let me finish. He had set up sort of a stainless steel plate at the front of the line. So
stainless steel back then too. Wow.
Sure. He was a very inventive. He had access to a lot of things that weren't invented yet. But he shoots the bullet down through everybody. It gets to the front, the first person in line, bounces off the metal plate, takes out the cast.
Interesting. I thought it would have been more feasible to be like, they were all above they were all on some giant trap door and it shot the rope. That would have been a much more feasible answer.
Like the bullet sets off some other trap or some other part of it that kills everybody.
Rube Goldberg fucking thing.
No, I'm going, we're not talking mousetrap here. No, I'm going with this one bullet traveled through the skulls of every person in that theater.
Gotcha. Quite the trajectory.
Yeah. So you think people go nuts about the Kennedy assassination and whether or not there were two shooters and how did it come from this angle? There must have been someone at the grassy knoll, all this kind of stuff. The Lincoln. And again, why is this not talked about more? They have that whole webbing of the similarities between Kennedy and Lincoln, right? But why is there so much attention put on the Kennedy assassination versus the Lincoln assassination? To my knowledge,
probably because there's more evidence and it's easier to look back at. No, it's easier to look back at the Kennedy thing just because there's more things to actually look at. There's no video footage of the Lincoln assassination that we can like analyze.
No, you're right. There has been,
and also it was pretty cut and dry with the Lincoln assassination. There was no real like who did it. It was like
he did. Yeah, he kind of yelled out. He made a very he yelled something about Tyrannus. something about death to tyranny.
Well,
or something like that.
He jumped down and like hurt himself and
yeah. I mean, granted, you're right. There's no video footage, but there was a flip book that was submitted into evidence.
Right. There was on-site illustrations.
Yeah, the flip book. It's what convicted him. Old Lee Harvey Oswald. No, that's who was it? John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth.
Lee Harvey Oswald is the other guy, the Kennedy guy.
Yep. What else?
Yeah, I know. We're clearly bailing on the holiday idea because we're finding ways to be much more interesting than actually talking about the holidays themselves. The 28th of September, Ask a Stupid Question Day. But I thought there were no stupid questions.
That's every day for me.
But is this an oxymoron or something that can't really be fulfilled?
There are plenty of stupid questions. I hate that there's no stupid questions, only stupid answers. It's like, no, there's plenty of stupid questions. Just go on the internet for 5 seconds and you'll find stupid questions everywhere on any sort of forum or any crap like that. People ask dumb questions all the time.
Hey, this is kind of fitting. The 29th, World Maritime Day. We mentioned maritime earlier.
Right. Yeah. Oh, there you
go. What's your knowledge level on Christianity? Because this one is called on the 29th also, it's called Michael and All Angels. That's it. Michael and All Angels. Christian holiday.
Interesting. Why does Michael have to be specifically
singled out, right?
In the forefront of that. Just say All Angels Day then.
Is that why the movie with Travolta where he played an angel, is that why it was called Michael?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Well, I think his character was okay. I was about to mix two of his movies together.
Oh.
He was supposedly the angel Michael in that movie. I've never seen the movie, but I was about to mix that movie with the movie Phenomenon that he's also in.
Oh, yeah. I never saw either of those.
Which is much different. Yeah. That's where like he all of a sudden gains a bunch of power. Like he sees some white light in the sky and then all of a sudden he has a bunch of powers and stuff.
So he stared at the sun and got powers.
No. So do you want to know what actually kind of happens or whatever? I mean, real quickly.
We'll call September done. There was nothing else.
Yeah, fuck it. So basically, I haven't really seen the movie. I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, but he was like at a bar or something. Then he like steps outside, and all of a sudden, like he sees some blinding light in the sky, and then all of a sudden he like has like telekinetic powers, and like he can learn things really quickly, and like he ends up like this kid goes missing, and he like finds the kid through his mind and shit like that. What ends up happening is he actually like throughout the movie, then all of a sudden they find out he's actually dying and he has some tumor in his brain that was like pushing on something that ended up
giving him
powers because the tumor was like enhancing part of his brain because of how it was destroying different parts of his brain or some shit. And the light he saw was just that kind of happening or whatever. So then he eventually loses all of his powers and dies.
So
there's the movie in a nutshell.
Cool. Spoilers. I wonder if they, in that reality, like in that world where that happened, I wonder if they would be able to replicate that, not in a way that it's fatal, but replicate that effect on the brain so that you could have those powers and live with them.
Or you're saying like within the realm of that movie?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, in the world where movie is the real events.
Yeah, I mean they could maybe look into it. I'm sure they probably did. They're like, oh well, this crazy thing happened. This weird phenomenon, as it were, happened, and then I'm sure, they'd probably like the government would somehow like jump in and military would take over the research and somehow weaponize it.
What was Powder's deal?
His mother was struck by lightning
yes.
while he was in the womb, I believe.
That's right. And he could use 100% of his, wasn't he could use 100% of his brain or something like that?
Yeah, which is ridiculous. We do that anyway.
I know.
This whole 10% of your brain thing is bullshit. But yeah, that was kind of the thing is like, yeah, he ended up having access to more parts of his brain. And then in the end, he turned into pure energy.
That's right. I enjoyed that movie when it came out.
Yeah, I remember it.
I mean, it was, I remember it got a lot of attention.
It's fine.
I wonder if it won any, I don't remember if it won any awards though.
Oh, possibly. Who else was in that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember who the other, like who the main kind of guy was in it.
Like the guy helping him?
Yeah.
Sort of?
I don't know why, like,
sticking up
I
for
know
him
it wasn't Liam Neeson, but it's like, for some reason, his face is in my brain.
I could have saved one more.
That I'm going to look up quick because I actually am curious as to, I can't remember who was in it. Oh, Jeff Goldblum was in it.
Oh, Goldblum?
Yeah.
He rocks.
But was he like the guy? Like the main man? I don't remember. I want to just find like I found like the trailer for it. Anyway, maybe it was. Okay. Maybe it wasn't.
So in case there are people there that didn't notice, I just some moments ago played a cow mooing sound effect. Right?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying in case someone didn't notice. If you're trying to find cow sound effects, right? Mm-hmm. What would you hope that there are a lot of?
Just a lot of mooing.
A lot of mooing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be mooing. I selected cow, and there are 5 different cow mooing sound effects. Then immediately, all I see are cow poo land on ground with a squelch or splat.
So it's a bunch of poo noises.
Yep. And so far, there's at least 6 versions of that, which outnumbers the cow mooing sound effect.
Interesting. I mean, you got to play one now.
Okay. So let's just do number 1. So this just says cow poo land on ground with a squelch or splat version 1.
That could be anything. That sounded like wet clothes hitting the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's sitting there with a microphone behind a cow trying to get this Foley effect. Oh, wait, that was a mooing one. Hold on.
Sounded like a frog.
That was version 6.
Okay, that one was like wet. That was it
had like a wet fart sound after it.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, it had like a shart sound.
That sounded more like wet clothes falling into like a bog.
Like this is so ambiguous.
That's anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I bet you if we deep dived, we'd find that sound effect attached to a bunch of different things.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. I said, I bet you that sound effect is used for multiple things on this website.
Totally.
Oops, I didn't want to do that. I accidentally hit download for that Moo Close-Up 3. Well, this has been fun.
Well, you got it now in case we ever need it. I mean, this is definitely an easier way to put sound effects into the show.
I thought about it too. Yes. So I can have this
if we
queued
ever
up.
do a game where you ding and buzz or something. Yeah.
I thought of that earlier today. I was like, you know what? This could be used just as a live ding or buzz sound so that there's no.
You just download those and then you could just hit play on them as you need them.
Yeah. No, that would be. This is a great discovery.
Yeah. Because it's coming through good at my end. I'll see what it sounds like as I do the edit, but I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, it'll sound fine. It's just attached to your audio.
Yeah, so you won't be able to adjust things.
So
if I'm talking over it now, since you're talking most of the time when I play them, you can adjust those individually. But I'll just try to be very conscious to not talk as I'm playing a sound effect, so that
which worked out great on the previous episode when you.
We're playing
all those clips because you clearly weren't talking because you were holding your phone up to the microphone. And I went back through and I exchanged all of those for the clips that you had actually sent me. So it worked out great because I could just mute that I just basically cut that piece of audio out of your clip and then just
plopped the movie clip in.
Well, so it was, to get boring and technical, but I had a separate line of audio that was just the movie clips. And then where it was in your audio, I just went in and there's that button you can click where it just basically mutes all that or just deletes all that audio without deleting the actual chunk of audio out.
Yeah.
It just
mutes it, right?
Yeah, basically it mutes it. It basically just takes it and like, oh, I don't want this clip of audio. I want this to be silence. And it would just make it silence. So then I would just plop in, like line it up right. Like I'd play both pieces of audio together so it lined up in the right spot. And then I would just take that chunk of audio and just, basically just muted it out of your audio and then just played the good clip over the top of it.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably relatively easy. I am a little bummed that
it was super easy. Yeah.
But I'm just bummed that I figured it out moments after we were done. I was actually able to get it to work. And all it was me just pushing another button on the interface.
Right.
I thought maybe it was a cable problem, like I got the wrong cable or something like that. But no, there was a button I needed to press, and that was it.
Yep. And now you know.
Yeah. Now I will know. I'm not going to say forever, but it's not likely that I will soon forget how it works.
Well, yeah, and even if you never did it again for like the next 5 years or something, I'm sure you'd be like, oh yeah, this is how I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. So.
Or if you just never press that button again, you'll just hook it up and it'll work next time.
No, you have to press the button to activate something on the. Yeah, it's not that I didn't press the button to switch something off. I had to press the button to switch something on. Gotcha.
So
I can't forget.
Right. Totally.
Otherwise, we're screwed.
Well.
I
was waiting to see if you do it. So nope.
Oh, what the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
It was supposed to be
What was that supposed to be? Jesus.
I was hoping it was going to be sort of that default dolphin squealing sound that you hear in every show.
Dude, that's so hard to find. I've tried to find that.
Yeah, these all are labeled as cartoon dolphin laugh. And
I've tried to find that like stereotypical like dolphin noise that you hear everywhere, and it's such a hard sound effect to find.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to go out with a classic dolphin speech, but that's what we got.
Speech.
4 years. I can't do a dolphin voice.
No.
4 and half of 14 years ago, we said, see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bruh.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.